Hello, hello. Okay, let's see. Hi, Aurora. Hi, Mike. How are you guys doing? Let me go to see if I can get to my live stream. There we go. I think we are. Hang on, I've got too many stupid windows open. Too many windows open. All right, so did you guys, were you guys both here? Hi, Eva. How are you? Well, you all three here for the background about the Redlich case, Danielle Redlick. I think you were Mike. Aurora, I don't know if you were here, and Eva, I don't know if you were here. But the trial started, and we can debate this. Okay, trial starts with the jury selection. So hi, Tony. So the jury selection started today, but it didn't finish today. And it looks like jury selection is going to be Tuesday and even into Wednesday because the other jurors are coming back Wednesday, the ones that were saved from today. And then there's going to be new jurors tomorrow. So I would say at the very best, the testimony in this trial, the opening arguments, and if they get to any of the witnesses, will not start till at the very least Thursday. Okay, but I don't know. Jury selection could take the entire week. Officially, the trial has started. Now, I don't know how many of you missed it, Tony. Okay, so that's why I'm going to give a little bit of a recap. I'm not going to go into my back is awful, dare to be different. I don't know what I'm going to do. It is so freaking bad. I just put on a whole bunch of Penetrate before I got on. I'm very upset with myself. Cannot walk, cannot ride my bike, cannot do anything, can't even bend to get something. I'm just beside myself because I want to do all this stuff and I can't do physically, cannot do it. I'm hoping that it will be markedly better by tomorrow. We'll see. If it's not, I'm probably going to have to do something because it's horrendous. I don't remember throwing it out this bad, and it was all because I went to grab that table. But anyway. So I'm going to do a little recap. I'm not going to read the whole arrest affidavit. It's many pages and it's very detailed, and I read it in the last video. So if you haven't heard it, you need to hear it, but you can listen to me read it in the other video. But I'll tell you what happened. Tramadol. I don't know. I'm so resistant. I like to taking any medication. I took a leave. I'm going to see what happens. I think I can take a leave. Is a leave all day? What is a leave? What's the hours on a leave? Is that once in 24 hours or once in 12 hours? You keep saying ice. You know what, Sassy? Let me tell you something. My hands are freezing cold, and when I go to put the cream on, I am jumping because my hand itself is so cold. I don't want coldness. I can't. Why do I want ice? Tell me why I want ice and not heat. I want heat, Sassy. I want heat on it. So anyway, I'm going to go through this case from my own knowledge, okay? 12 hours. Ow. Then I'll take another one right now, right here with you. Liquid gels. All right, so here's what happened. Hi, Rosalita. So back in 2019, January, now watch how, this is going to be my memory, so cut me some slack here. January 11th, okay, in Fort Worth, Florida, and I believe the address was 1231. Can't remember the street. We looked at the house too in that other video. Very nice house, very prominent family, except there was a lot of problems in this family. And this couple, he worked at Central Florida University, and he also had some big dealings with major league sports teams, and he mentored kids, college kids, and they called him. Their last name was Redlich, and he was known affectionately as Michael Redlich, was known affectionately as Red. And oh, no, 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 Sassy, it's too cold, please. Just, do I take 2 Aleve or 1? Is there 2 in a dose? Like, there's 2 in a dose, right? So, hold on, let me just do this before, I don't want to overdose here in front of you. That wouldn't be good. Okay, take 1 capsule. Crappity crap. Do you know I've been taking 2 of these every time I take them? You're only supposed to take 1 capsule? Oh my gosh. I've already took 2 of them then, and I've been taking 2 Aleve. Anytime I've needed Aleve, I've taken 2. I thought you're supposed to take 2. I believe that I used to take 2. Yes, I did. I know I did. Oh my gosh, I've been overdosing on it. So this would be my 3rd. Oh, but you could take it every 8 to 12 hours. Oh, it says if the first dose at one, oh, hold on, it says for something, you may take 2 capsules within the first hour. Aurora, it's, I just read it, 220 milligrams. And I've been taking 2. I know I have always been taking 2 when I've taken Aleve. And do you know how many times I switch up the Aleve and the Advil bottles? They increase the dose and tell you to take 2. Okay. Yeah, you know, because when I used to work at the GMC dealership, and I got every job under the sun there, from comptroller down to the warranty person, that I was on 5 ibuprofen for headaches, and that was because the daughter had me start doing that, because that's the kind of headaches you got there. And so I was taking and nothing happened to me, knock on wood, and that was a long time ago. So 2 Aleve, I guess I was always taking 2 Aleve, I don't know. 800 equals prescription strength ibuprofen. 800 does, so you could actually take like 4 of these, right? I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, so this is a very interesting case. Let me tell you about it, okay? And I'm just going to tell you about it like you're my friend or my neighbor and you haven't heard about it. So, back in January 11th of 2019, horrible thing took place at this house. The Michael Redlick was murdered, okay? He was stabbed to death. His wife is being charged with the murder. Okay. And I say I can't look at the chat while I tell you this story, because I got to tell you this story like your friend. And I can't. So his wife was charged with the murder, but she didn't call 911. They looked at her phone. Initially, she called 911. I believe it was 2 hours after, but she hung up. And I don't know how they didn't go back to the house, or she just put it in her phone or something. She didn't call. She didn't call until the next morning, okay? And before she called 911, she checked out a dating site that I have never heard of called Mindful Match or something, Mindful Mate or something along those terms. Remember, I'm telling you this from my memory. mindful meet or something like that. And she went on this dating app. And then I believe she made one other call, and then she called 911. And that 911 call is a little crazy. And let me see if I have... I don't want to go through the whole arrest affidavit with you because I did it earlier, but just the 911 call in the beginning. I just want you to hear what she said. So, I'm going to tell you. She said, and this is from the arrest affidavit. So she calls, and an operator, Smith, is the one that answered. They lived on Temple Drive, 1231 Temple Drive, Winter Park. Did I get that number right? I don't know. So January 12th, 2019, she finally calls at 9:28 a.m. And she says she believed her husband was deceased. And the operator says, "Why do you believe that?" And she says, he's stiff. And he might have had a heart attack. I don't know. Well, the operator says, thinking like, what? And he asks the Danielle on the phone, "Did you just find him?" And she says, "No, actually, it happened last night." So the 911 operator confirms that it happened last night, and Danielle says, "Correct." The operator asks how old her husband is, and she says he's 65. Now, Danielle is 65. What you're going to hear, too, is that he is her stepfather and her husband. And the reason that is said is because prior to being married to Danielle, he married her mother. Her mother was sick with breast cancer. Her mother benefited from better health care if she was married to Michael Redlich. So he married her, allegedly for the health care. And she ended up passing away. And after that, Danielle and Michael fell in love and got together and got married. Now you're going to find on court TV and everything, all they're doing is, they like the hype. So they're going to say stepfather, husband murder, stepdaughter, wife murder. That's what that's about. Okay. And it's not even really into this case so much. So anyway, we're going to go back to the 911 call, but let me see. Somebody just did something and I want to see what that is. Hey, Billy Boy Blue, thank you. So back to this, right? Billy Boy, you missed this, and this is a really good case, and you should listen up because this is a really good case. Now I'm trying to get back to my thing here. So we're back to the 911 call. And I could show you I'll show you the pictures of the house in a minute. But we're not going to spend that much time because we did this today. So this is just a recap. So then she says it happened last night, right? Yes, he's 65. And then Danielle says, the operator says, "Did you find him this morning? Because you said this happened last night." And she says she saw him last night. Oh, they asked, "Did you see him last night? Was he okay?" She said he was not okay last night. We had an altercation and he stabbed himself, and I ran and hid in the bathroom. And when I came out, I was trying to help him and saw that he was lying in blood. And then I tried to help him and I couldn't. The operator confirms that your husband stabbed himself? To which Danielle says, correct, yes, I tried to help him and I woke up and I was sitting next to him and I've been trying to figure out what to do. Well, the operator confirms that you had an altercation last night, lady? Yes. Operator asks for her name and if there's any weapons, and she gives her name, Danielle Justine Redlick, and she says that there is a knife, and the operator confirms the age of the victim is 65 and asks if the victim stabbed himself last night and passed last night, and stated, you just didn't know what to do, and Danielle says, correct, I believe so, yes. And then the operator asked if they had been drinking, and she says, Danielle says, he was. And she states that there was another altercation the night before, but she left the house and took her children with her because he was drinking then too. The operator asked if the kids were there last night during the altercation, and she says, no, they were not. They were not here, and they're not here now. The operator asked if says that she knew that Danielle had said that the husband, she thought he had a heart attack and thought he died from the heart attack, or was it the stabbing? And she says, probably the stabbing triggered it, I guess. I don't know. It's a shoulder wound. The operator confirms that it's a shoulder wound, and Danielle says, right. The operator asks information about herself and the victim, and she's able to give that information without any issues. The operator asks if she is able to move the knife away so the units can get in there. And she asks, what does they mean by that? And they ask where the knife is, and she says it's in the kitchen. Okay. Then the operator Smith asks what time the altercation took place. When did he stab himself? And Danielle says, well, she thinks it was around 10:30 p.m. the night before. Claims that Michael, her husband, was trying to choke and suffocate her. She said that she went for the knife, and then Michael, her husband, started screaming, what are you going to do? Stab me? And then she says he grabbed the knife, and that's when he did it. He made a motion, and she stated that he made a motion like a stabbing motion towards himself, and she ran out of the room because she's on probation and was scared to death. So the operator on the phone says, did you ever go to check on him, or did you stay there? She says she stayed in the bathroom for a while, and then her husband came to the bathroom door and it was closed, and he said, started screaming that he was going to send her to jail. And she was just trying to stay away from him and heard him moaning and said she was scared, and she finally went to check on him, and she stated she saw that he was out of it and she was slipping on his blood, and it was heavily bloody, and that she thought, again, her husband was out of it, she said, and she thinks he was already, she tried to give him mouth to mouth. So the operator says if there was a reason you didn't call 911, and she said, yeah, I'm on probation and I was afraid. I didn't think anybody would believe me, and I was just trying to get him to wake up. She said that she was just exhausted and fell asleep from sitting up next to him. She tried to hurt herself this morning, and it doesn't look good for me. At that time in the call, the police arrived at the door, and Danielle goes to open the door for the police. Okay, and from that point, we hear about, we don't really hear what the heck all these broken eggshells are, right? The eggshells that are all over the vehicles outside of Michael's vehicle and outside his vehicle, and then they were there in the crime scene, and egg whites. What the heck is the deal with that, right? What's going to happen in the trial with that? Walk in on eggshells? Is that some kind of, I don't even understand what that is. The investigators walk in and they find Michael stretched out with his arms stretched out in a T position, laying on his back, wearing jeans, a belt, and socks. and his jeans appeared to be saturated with blood, and he appeared to have a cut by his left eye, a wound on his left shoulder. There was no vomit on his chest or face area. There were saturated towels laying near his head, right side, and right foot of him. Then they found out that there were other towels. There was a smell of bleach in the house. There was the shirt that they know was on his body because it has a slit where he was stabbed, and it was on the bottom of bloody towels. They saw circular movements, so she was cleaning up blood. She contaminated the crime scene. She, tried to dispose of evidence. All of this, and though she has charges for that. Okay, there were bloody footprints and bloody trails of everything going all around the house, but at first she wasn't seen as a suspect, right? And we did see the press release where she wasn't at first, and then they got enough information. She changed her story many times, and at one time she puts that he came to the bathroom door after she said that he walked in and was just angry. She was eating a quarter pounder. They did find the McDonald's trash there, but she had been eating a quarter pounder, and he just got angry, grabbed her quarter pounder, took a bite out of it, and spit it in her face, she said. And then grabbed her, was throwing her around, threw her down on the stove. She got scared. She goes into the knife drawer that was next to her, gets the knife. He gets the knife from her. So there were all these variations of this story, and none of it looked self-inflicted according to the medical examiner who conducted the autopsy. And when they interviewed neighbors and friends, it was a very toxic marriage. And she had already filed for divorce. What she said was due to her finding out that he was cheating on her. Okay, this was about a year prior to this, but she never followed through with everything for the divorce. They lived in separate houses. They had just come back together. I believe it was in December. And the kids even told investigators about the toxicity of the marriage. She apparently was on a dating app, and she was contacting a guy. They were going to go hiking, and she made a joke to this guy that, well, maybe I'll bring my phone on the hiking trip and I'll go, if you're not good or something, I'll go back and get someone else. So let's see what she said. I got to get something to wash it down. She still had alcohol in her system, and she wasn't supposed to be drinking any alcohol because she was on probation. They found a bunch of empty wine bottles and stuff. Meanwhile, she was saying that he was drinking. Now, what was interesting was that a friend of Michael's said that Michael clearly said that Danielle is crazy. But as long as I keep the steak knives away from her, I'm good. We're good. But maybe not. So anyway, they're going to claim now this was self-defense, okay? She's saying that he found the text, came after her, tried to choke her, was pushing her down and everything, and now she killed him in self-defense. She was offered a plea deal of about 10 years if she gave a plea for manslaughter. She had no way. So this is going to be a good trial. Now, we're going to cover this trial. Hopefully you've got enough interest. Go back into the other video I made. Get the blow-by-blow of everything. With this, you'll see pictures of the house. I'll show you just a quick photo of the house. And then we'll go to the other headlines and stuff. Let me see here. That's the house. It was in a nice community in Winter Park, Florida. We looked at, in the other video, I took you all through the inside of it. Okay, we looked at the various changes in Danielle, and this was Danielle and her husband. And more recently, this is what Danielle looks like today. This was at her January hearing. So let's see if there's any more updates on the jury selection than we did. A judge excused half of the prospective jurors interviewed Monday, and that was for various reasons. Some had media exposure, some had it was financial hardship, stuff like that. I went over that in the previous video. Now, the reason she was on probation is because she had been drinking and she had resisted arrest. There was a Wawa parking lot incident. The police had been called to her house before, her being a danger to herself by her husband, Michael. That's why you really need to listen to the other video that I made. And we are going to follow it. And let me see, what else can I tell you about Danielle Redlick that I haven't already told you in the other video or now. Danielle Redlick. Okay, so she rejected, she rejected that plea deal. And she's going to say it was self-defense. And at one time, her husband was an NBA executive. And let's see if we can, let me see if we can get you some of the okay, so some of the images that are released, him that the jury will see show Danielle Redlick with blood on her neck and feet and wounds on her wrists because she tried to slice her wrists before she called 911, but they had already stopped bleeding by that time, so she wasn't too successful with that. Police saw the red streaks on the floors, the blood spatters on the walls of the kitchen, living room area, and the master bedroom. And prosecutors said there were signs that she had tried to clean the scene. They found the mop bucket, bloody mop water, bloody towels, a bloody knife was found on the floor, along with 2 other bloody knives in the sink. The updated autopsy report stated that Michael Redlich died of a stab wound to the torso, not the shoulder, that cut the basilic vein. The medical examiner told police it would take only 5 or 6 minutes for him to bleed out. Everything details a troubled marriage between the two beginning in 2017. In an interview, Redlich had alluded to issues with infidelity. She said he found out a text from another man to me. We had some issues last year. He basically cheated on me. And they have a recorded interview with her saying all that. A friend of the couple also told investigators that Michael had told him the couple was having issues. I said, how are things at home, or how is your wife? And he would say, as long as I can lock the knives up, I'm okay. So yeah, we'll be watching that. Let's check out any other true crime headlines that we want to talk about. Okay, we have a family that is making a plea after their 12-year-old girl was gunned down on her birthday. So we have the loved ones of a 12-year-old girl who was shot and killed on her birthday, pleading for the public's health and finding those responsible for her death. This happened at 7:45 p.m. on March 1st. And Naziria London Moore was riding with her family in a car on their way home from a birthday party in the Chicago neighborhood of Englewood when someone opened fire in the street. One of the bullets struck Moore in the back of the head. The family drove Moore to Holy Cross Hospital, and she was later rushed to Comer Children's Hospital in critical condition, and she died days later. Authorities have obtained images and video from security cameras, and they appear to show suspects believed to be involved in the shooting, but the individuals have not been identified. Investigators believe that 3 men were in the area when they began firing at the car. Community activist Andrew Holmes urged local residents to come forward with information. There's no way as a mother you gave birth to these individuals that are killers and shooters living in your home. You cannot say you don't recognize these individuals. The family is committed to pursuing justice until those responsible are arrested. Moore's mother, Nairi Moore, explained what it's like to live every day after losing a child. People say, I can't imagine. Nairi Moore told the media, you don't want to imagine. You don't want to wake up without your child. I'm shopping for 2 kids, not 3. We do everything together. Every day I got to get up and I got to push through this because I won't stop until my baby gets justice. The Chicago Police Department is offering a $15,000 reward for information that solves the case. I heard this earlier today about this. To report information about the case, call the Chicago Police Department, tip line 833-408-0069. They forget justice. It's horrible. Then Kentucky deputy who was killed last month, was fatally shot by a suspect he allowed to take a smoke break. Gary Rowland, 30, used a hidden gun to kill Callaway County Chief Deputy Jody Cash on May 16th. Rowland had been arrested for absconding from parole and drug and firearm-related charges, was taken to the Marshall County Sheriff's Office, where Cash and another deputy decided to interview him about an unrelated case. At some point during the interview, Rowland asked for a cigarette, and the two deputies went outside with Rowland to let him smoke. He brandished a gun that was hidden on him and shot Cash. Two other deputies then opened fire on Rowland, striking him. Cash and Rowland were ultimately pronounced dead at the hospital. The shooting occurred an hour after Rowland's arrest in Benton, according to reports. Cash has worked in law enforcement for 22 years, including stints with state police and the Murray State University Police Department. The two other deputies were placed on administrative leave as state police investigate last month's shooting that killed Cash and Rowland. Now, and here is a California mother is outraged that a teen driver who barreled into her and her child last year has received what she says is a slap on the wrist, even though the teenager was on drugs at the time and had a criminal record. How on earth can that be? He tried to murder two innocent pedestrians. Murder. And we have video evidence. My child would be dead if I hadn't been there to protect him. I hear Canadian geese flying at night. I thought birds don't fly at night. That's weird. The mother, identified only as Rachel, said all this. The teen claimed that the mother came out of nowhere, but the woman was on security camera video from the incident on August 6th, and that tells a different story. The mother can be seen walking her child in a stroller before she moved to the side of the road to allow an oncoming car to pass. Instead of avoiding the woman and the child, the teen driver allegedly accelerated and slammed directly into them, throwing the woman and the stroller into the air before they crashed into the pavement. The driver briefly stopped and then continued moving forward until onlookers in the area chased the vehicle and prevented the teen from fleeing. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office initially charged the teen with felony driving while intoxicated. However, the DA's office reached a plea deal with the teen to 2 felony charges of assault by means of force likely to produce great bodily injury and 1 felony count of hit and run. Sources say that the DA's office declined to pursue more severe charges like assault with a deadly weapon or attempted murder. On Friday, the teen was sentenced to 5 to 7 months in a juvenile probation camp, which has been described as less than a military school, but a little tougher than a summer camp. On Sunday, it was reported the driver had a criminal record and was on probation when he plowed into the mother and child. The teenager had been convicted of felony poisoning after he spiked a peer's drink at Palmdale High School in 2019, which sent the victim of that to the hospital. District Attorney George Gaskin issued a statement defending the sentence, writing that the juvenile justice system is designed to rehabilitate young people. In this case, the teen will be held accountable for his actions and receive the needed services to foster positive development to keep him from committing future offenses. Rachel, the mother that was struck by the teen, blasted Gascon's office and said that they are highlighting their incompetence and their complete disregard for victims. She also questioned why the teen's record will reportedly be wiped once he turns 18. Someone with a criminal record tried to kill me and my son, and George Gaskin thinks that 5 months of camp is sufficient punishment. Gascon's office took the time to falsely comment on my case, but has taken no time to ask how we're doing. That's because he doesn't care. Gascon and his staff are highlighting their incompetence and their complete disregard for victims, says Rachel. In a victim's impact statement, Rachel wrote that she thought she and her child were going to die in the crash. I thought those were the last moments of our lives, that we were dead. That feeling, along with the memory of the car accelerating directly into us, will haunt me forever. Wow. A Wisconsin man accused of killing 6 people and taking selfies with some of their bodies as his background is now facing 6 murder charges. 34-year-old Travis Berkeley is accused of killing 6 people who were found on January 23rd. They were dead from gunshot wounds. The court documents that were released last week indicate that the victims may have been dead longer than was initially thought. Detectives ultimately linked Berkeley to the killings after reportedly finding evidence on his cell phone, including a photo of himself wearing one of the victim's sunglasses. 3 of the bodies were found in the basement of a Milwaukee home that was seen in the background of Berkeley's selfies. 3 other bodies were reportedly found in various parts of the multi-residence home. Police discovered the bodies after a woman called 911 and said she had been shot in the head. The defendant took a photo of himself in what appeared to be the basement where 3 dead bodies were later located. According to the criminal complaint, court documents also stated that a witness came forward and said that Berkeley admitted to killing the 6 victims with his cousin during a robbery gone bad. However, the cousin allegedly told investigators that they had planned to rob one of the victims after meeting to buy drugs, but they were taken off guard when her wife arrived at the scene, leading to them fatally shooting her. The commotion caused others in the multi-residence to investigate, leading to their shooting deaths. The 6 victims have been identified as Donta Williams, 44, Michelle Williams, 49, Donald Smith, 43, Charles Hardy, 42, Giovanni Liddell, 31, Caleb Jordan, 23. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. And thank you, Mike. If you fall asleep, thank you, Mike. And thank you, John Wasaki. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. Okay. So now let's see what else is on this agenda here. This just keeps going, right? I wish I could tell you there's no more news. Okay, so we have now a Texas woman who vanished in May was reportedly found dead in a car trunk on Sunday. Montgomery County Police said that 2 men were riding 4-wheelers, and they discovered 2 bodies in a vehicle after inspecting it, as it had been in the same spot for the past couple of weeks. After they found a long gun and a man's human remains there near the car, police located a body believed to be Megan Leach, 19, in the trunk. Leach was last seen in May, and she is believed to have been a human trafficking victim. The second body has not formally been identified, but it is reported by authorities that it's the registered owner of the car discovered in the woods. According to the Montgomery County Police reporter, the unidentified man and Leach were reported missing separately on May 25th. Police believe the pair died of gunshot wounds, though it's unclear when they died. They were reportedly last seen in the car discovered in the wooded area on Sunday, and both bodies were in advanced stages of decomposition when they were found. Detectives say they're awaiting an autopsy before formally identifying the second body. Yikes. Let's see. Thank you, Mike. Night night, Billy Boy. Billy Boy, Mike and John, you're beautiful sons of a gun. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. All right, let's go back and see what else we have here. Oh, this was another one. Did you guys see this? Okay. This was Tempe, Arizona. I guess this homeless guy and his wife or partner, they are out at this lake. And then this guy decides to jump into the lake. And he says that he's going for a swim. He's free to go, right? And they have the police cam of this, but they, you know what? They cut it off. The whole thing is seen on there, including the drowning, because of the sensitive nature. But you can see up to the part where the guy jumps in and the officer, and then he says, come on, you know, he's calling for help because he can't feel the bottom, and I don't know, he can't get back to the pillar or whatever it is. And they, you know, I'm not jumping in after you. So police in Tempe, Arizona, they're coming under fire after a man drowned in a lake, and officers just watched him allegedly doing nothing despite desperate pleas from the man and his wife. And this was shortly after 5 a.m. on May 28th. Police were dispatched to a report of a disturbance between 34-year-old Sean Bickings and his wife near the Elmore pedestrian bridge. Now, Bickings and his wife told police that they were not arguing, but officers ran the couple's names to check for outstanding warrants. Officers determined that Bickings had 3 outstanding felony warrants. As officers were speaking with Bickings, he scaled a fence and then jumped into Tempe Town Lake, despite police telling him that swimming in that body of water was not allowed. I'm going to go for a swim. Bickings can be heard in the background of the body camera. I'm free to go, right? The video shows Bickings swimming away from the shore, at which point one officer can be heard asking, how far do you think he's going to be able to swim? The police department withheld the remainder of the footage on the basis that the video of the drowning is too sensitive. But police did release a transcript of what happened next. And according to the transcript, Bickings tells officers that he is drowning, at which point police officers direct him to swim to a pylon to remain afloat. I'm drowning, Bickings said. An officer responds, come back over to the pylon. I can't. Bickings replies. Okay, I'm not jumping in after you, another officer says. Bickings responds, please help me, please, I can't touch. Oh God, please help me. Bickings' wife begs police to intervene, telling officers that she is just distraught because he's drowning right in front of you and you won't help. One police officer allegedly threatens to put the woman in a police car if she doesn't settle down. Bickings' wife said she was trying to regain composure, but that she was upset because she loved her husband and cared about his well-being. One of the officers did attempt to secure a boat to rescue Bickings, but that effort proved too late. Bickings then drowned, and his body sank below the surface of the water. Crews from the Tempe Fire Department, dive team, and rescue team recovered the body shortly before 11:30 a.m. The police department has placed the 3 responding officers on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation, which is customary in such events, according to the city. So, yeah, that's, let's see if we can. This is a picture from the body cam where the officer is just looking with his hands. Like that, as the man is right beneath him. Here. And this is him before he entered the water. He's over here. He went over the fence on that side. Okay, so let me see where you guys are here. Come on. Trying to get back to the catty. Okay, let me get back over here. Hi, Ash Lewis. Good to see you again, Ash Lewis, coming in. You used to come in all the time, and we didn't see you for a long time. He panicked when he couldn't touch. Yeah, but wouldn't he have not been able to touch the entire time from there? I don't know. Hi, Mary Tackett. Yeah, I'm okay, Mary. I just hurt my back really, really super bad. And it's like excruciatingly painful. Excruciating. Hi, Sean Sneed. Shame on they should have jumped in immediately, kind of like the cops at that school. Yeah, there's a lot coming under fire in the recent days here. Let me see here. Hi, LMNW50. Help Me Rhonda, Tony Monty, Mimi, Debbie L, Jenny D1, Linda Gelb. Let's see. Karen H. GB. Alan. Barb Olson. Deidre. Hi everybody. Sorry if I missed you. So, I got one from trying to get a stupid table, and it's just driving me crazy because, I do have back injuries to my disc, but this was just something that I just pulled it out so stupidly, and I'm just killing myself because I can't do anything I want to do. I can't bike, I can't walk, I can't do certain. I was trying to make wind chimes today. It was like working with 2 hands and 2 legs tied behind my back. It was ridiculous. I was getting so frustrated. When you want to do something, your head tells you you can do it and your body says no thank you. It's so freaking painful. I can't even walk. I don't know. I really did mess something up, and I didn't even feel like I didn't even do much of anything, but whatever I did really did a number. Anyway, hi Shay. So is there anything else that you guys saw in the news, or anything you wanted to say, or anything you want to say, hey, about it? Well, Karen H., if it doesn't get better, I will go to see the doctor. It's not like they can do a lot of other things except here, take these pills. Thank you, Deidre. It's one of the 50-cent tops. Okay, so let me see. How's this coming out? I have to. Why is that not? I think I'm just gonna have to put some white in there with some paint. I'm working on some shelves and stuff. I'm trying to while sitting down, and I was going to for after this. The defense is saying Vicky had Casey in her custody, so it's all her fault. You know, what kind of case is that, though? You know what I mean? He was already behind bars. She's dead now. What case is there? You know, snow remover. You know what I mean? What case is there? Thankfully, they didn't kill anybody when they were out. Isn't it just like, I don't understand like what people are really interested in that. I'm sorry. I'm not. I mean, she killed herself. He's back in prison. He wasn't getting out. He's not getting out now. And, I mean, what does it matter? Like, really? I'm not getting that. I'm not getting why people are still, like, am I missing something? Oh, you know what, Sassy Darcy? I think it is here. I think it is here. Should I open it? I think there is something here. Should I open it? Yeah, it's a lot of things are news, but I mean, I don't think it's, to me, I don't think it's that interesting anymore. Does anybody else think it is? Hi, Annie B. I mean, we got this trial up here now, and we've got that other girl that's on the run, that yoga instructor that we don't know where the heck she is, and she killed the cyclist. It's looking like what you're talking about. Yeah, that you're trying to mount an under the cabinet can opener. I asked my husband to do it 5 days ago. Do you think he did it? No. Of course not, Sassy. I'm still waiting for Jimmy to recaulk the sink and the shower. And I keep buying the product over and over until then, you know, either he doesn't know where it is or he says it's no good anymore, and just keep waiting and waiting and waiting. I know this. I know the story. So anyhow, yeah. Sorry, Snow Remover. It's just, I don't know. I see people talking about that. I'm like, what is there to talk about? Like, I just don't know what there is to talk about on that. Did you see the trial that's coming up? That's an interesting story. There's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of really good case there. I mean, lots to talk about. Lots and lots. It's really been bothering you about the grandpa. The grandson's, yep, Gonzalez Lopez. I'm several hours away, but yes, that's a terrible tragedy. A horrible, a family wiped out, essentially. 3 boys, all belonging to the same set of parents. The other one, the cousin. All the grandsons there with the grandfather, 66 years old, a young grandfather. Exactly. You don't have to remind him. You will. You don't have to. Right, Tony. Yeah, I mean, right, let me go get it and I'll open it. Hang on. Oh my goodness, where did I have? Okay, don't worry. I'll get out of the chair. Oh my gosh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think, Jimmy, what did you do? Jimmy, what did you do with it? Well, now that I got up out of the chair, Sassy Darcy, Jimmy's at the other house, and I don't know what and guess what? He bought the stuff to do the frosting. He never got to the frosting tonight. So the cake should be nice and fresh when he finally gets the frosting. He goes to me, don't you just want to make your frosting? And I thought to myself, and I said, you know what? No, I don't just want to make my frosting, because he says he didn't do that recipe wrong. He just overbeat it, and he's going to resurrect it. So I thought, well, let him resurrect that frosting, right? Let him resurrect it. Why should I come save the day? Let's see if he'll admit either that, gosh, I did something wrong that's terrible, or he resurrects it, you know? So I just waited to see. And he hasn't done either yet. He had to go to the dentist today, and then he got all upset because he got 3 cavities. And I'm like, I need all these crowns and all this stuff. And you're going to try to make me feel bad because you have like 3 little cavities. And he's been going on about it all day. Had to come back from the dentist and take a nap. Because and then he yells at Luke that he's like scared of the dentist, but Jimmy goes all the time. So it's not that he's scared. So I don't understand why he always acts like every little thing is like this huge procedure. And before I used to think it was these big procedures that he was scared of. Now I see he's even worried about little cavities. And he's going on and on about how did he get them. He takes such good care of his teeth, and it had to be for the pandemic. And do you know the last time, because of the pandemic, it's been 10 months since he's had a cleaning and not 6 months, and he's going out of his mind. Yes, Carolyn, he specifically asked you. Yeah, but I want to see him resurrect the old frosting. And I don't even understand because it's like this big in the refrigerator. Anyway. Now the dog is going to bark. Why is the dog barking? He's having a dream, I think. So I got out of the chair for no reason, Sassy, because I don't know where you put it. But I do have another one coming up. I'm weird but love angel food cake. That's not weird. I like angel food cake, and you can make it with fresh whipped cream and strawberries, Mike. Or you could take a very... I had a neighbor that used to always get angel food cake, and she put chocolate icing on it. And but there is another angel food cake I used to make all sometimes for my daughter's birthday when she was a little baby, and it was like almost this if you like take a chocolate buttercream frosting and you mix it with like Cool Whip, it becomes so light. And I believe that's what I put on her cake. I made her an angel food cake with that. I believe it was an angel food cake. To go back and look at the pictures. And it was so light and it was delicious. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have an itchy eye now. My allergies are much better though. Yeah, I can't open it yet until Jimmy gets back, Sassy, because I don't know where he put it. When you live longer, these simple things can be bothersome. When you live longer. Are you saying that I'm very old, Mary Tackett? Please. There is a new For dental coverage. Yeah, well, none of my dental work is covered. And I need 2 new crowns and other stuff, and none of it's covered. So, and I can't, I mean, I've called them today. I'm like, I need to schedule this work. They must be so freaking busy. Used to make a cassata cake. I used to make a cannoli cream cake. I didn't use an angel food cake. I used like a regular yellow cake, and then I would put a cannoli cream filling. I would cut each layer in half, and then it would have a cannoli cream filling, and then on the top I would put chocolate frosting on the top. You were looking at dental tourism? Dental tourism. And your pug found its owners again, Kevin? Did your pug find its owners? I feel you there with not having dental. I wish it was. Oh, it's terrible, this country with dental, with the dental prices, and a lot of people not having dental coverage or their insurance not covering it. He can always use the frosting. Not really LMNW, because it's like pudding. That's what it's like, pudding. Okay, let's see. I used to build whipped cream. Okay, Billy. I've enjoyed talking about Wake Up. I'm sure I will chat, but I will be listening. Yeah, we're going to be in another live, though, because we're going to go to a craft and chat live after this. I'm trying to keep them separated. Owners come and got the pug. Oh, good. Did you want to keep it? Were you secretly hoping that nobody claimed it? How far away did they live from you, Kevin? We got somebody missing. There are 2 like tuxedo cats in this area. I don't know. Does anybody know what I have the other live scheduled for? Was it 12:45? Is that when I scheduled the other one? I know you're kidding, Billy boy. I have a redirect. I really wanted to get crafty. I've been putting away. I wanted to show you some things I'm doing with the shells, and I just did this one, and I have to put a gold, the gold on it, and I have to try. It is not focusing. There we go. It's not focusing. Plus there's other things I did. I wanted to show you by putting some the double thick on the back of some things, and then I was out sorting shells. I found another angel. I found another angel, which I'll show you. I was trying to make wind chimes today. What a hassle with my, you've been DIYing picture frames to look to a more farmhouse look. How have you been doing that? By whitewashing them or something? Hi, Heart Made Wise. Thank you, Karen H. I have other stuff too. Oh, we're late to the new live? Okay, I was waiting. I didn't know. All right.